everybody, welcome back to Meals with Marsha. Today I'm going to be sharing a recipe with you of homemade chili. I'm excited to show you this, so let's get started. The first thing I did is I took a pound of ground beef and I took a half of a sweet onion and I chopped it up. Let me show you, about that size, about half of that. And then I put a little salt and pepper in it and I scrambled it on the stove until it was done. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to put that in there. Let me scrape out my onions. They're all sticking to the side of the pan. And I have to drain it because I always buy at least 80-20 ground beef and I don't want all that grease in there. So we try to drain that out. Okay, let me set this over here real quick. Out of the way. Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to start adding all my canned stuff. Now, some people put bell peppers and onions in their chili. I used to do that, but my family just prefers just a little bit of a sweet onion that's, that's cut up small and cooked better than just that. So I'm also going to add some tomato paste. This is this little 6-ounce jar. Tomato paste is so hard to get out. Like you have to dig and it's so thick, but that's okay. Now I'm not putting this in a pot today or in my crock pot. Normally I cook my chili in the crock pot because I'm meal prepping today and this is going to be one of our dinners for the week. So what I'll do is I'll get all this mixed up, prep it, get it mixed up, put it in a plastic container, and then when I'm ready I'll put it in the crock pot and I will cook it on low for like 4.5–5 hours and then it'll be ready. But I'll show you that in just a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself today. And then I need a 8-ounce jar or can of tomato sauce. And then I need a 10-ounce jar of the diced tomatoes and green chilies, or Ro-tel is a brand, but I just got the store brand this time. Whichever one you would like to do, doesn't matter. All right, and then I'm going to do a can of chili beans. Chili beans. Just dump it all in there. The good thing about chili, once you get that meat cooked, it's just dump, 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 and let it heat all together. And then just a can of regular pinto beans. We are not kidney bean fans. My husband does not like kidney beans at all. So he would rather me not. But you can put any kind of bean you want in your chili. Some people even do chickpeas. They think that's great because they like the different textures. That's why I do different beans, but he just does not like, and he likes a beany thick chili. So, and then I'm going to do a can of black beans. Now, a lot of people drain their black beans, but I never do. I just do the juice and all on a black bean. We love black beans and pinto beans. Black beans and pinto beans is probably our favorite. All right, and then I'm going to do a large jar of crushed tomatoes. This is some tomatoes that I had put up from our garden this year. Now, you can buy crushed tomatoes in your store. They will come in the the bigger, fatter can. You need that large can of crushed tomatoes, but like I said, these are the ones we have from home. I'm gonna pop these open. There we go. I love to smell them. All right, we're gonna add that in there. Okay, and that kind of thins it down quite a bit, and that's okay, because I'm gonna show you how to thicken it back up once it cooks, because like I said, my husband loves thick chili. He does not like thin chili. And I'm just kind of taking the back of my spoon and incorporating that tomato paste in there because it's kind of thick. All right, move this out. All right, now we're going to do our seasonings. I'm just going to put a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And I maybe let a little bit less than that of salt because the salt, there's a lot of salt in the canned stuff. Plus, we salted the meat, and I just drained it. I didn't rinse water over it. I just drained the grease off of it. And then we're going to do some cumin, however you say it. 1 tablespoon. So we're going to put that in there. Okay. And then we're going to do a 1/2 tablespoon of garlic. So I'm just going to use this and just fill it halfway. A little bit too much. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do some paprika, a 1/2 tablespoon of paprika. Okay, and we're going to do some chili powder. we're going to do 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Now, if you want more, if you like a spicier chili, you could add jalapenos or you could add some cayenne pepper. To me, when you put all these seasonings in there, it's spicy enough. Now, my husband likes spicy, but we have some pepper relish that's real spicy. Sometimes he'll just put a little bit of that in there, or like I said, you can add jalapenos. It's up to you. Now, we're going to stir this up really well. And that's usually about all it's going to take for the chili. As far as seasonings, now you can, after you cook it a little while, you can taste it. And if it doesn't taste like it's got enough of something in there, you can add it. You know, however you like it. Like I said, it's to your liking. But this is how I make mine. One year at our church, they did a chili cook-off every year. And I did not want to participate in that. I do not like to be competitive with my food. I just like to cook and share. And then just, you know, if people like it, they do. If they don't, they don't. And let them put their own spin on it. But they talked me into doing a chili cook-off one year. And I just did original, which was this, basically this recipe. And I won first place. And I got an apron. And I was so excited for that. I never really wanted to compete. But it was so fun after I did it. And I won. You know, I guess I might not have felt the same way if I had not won. So, but anyway, one more thing I want to share with you before I put this up. Is what I'll do is I'll put this in, like I said, I'll put it in my bowl and I will put this in the crock pot and I will cook it on low for like 4 or 5 hours. And then right before we eat it, I'm going to do what they call a cornstarch slurry to thicken it up, because as this cooks, it's going to get even thinner type. It won't really thicken much. So, and like I said, my husband likes it thick. So I will take a couple of tablespoons of this Argo starch. It's just cleared powder, like white powdered starch. And then you'll put it in a bowl with a fork, and then you'll just put a little bit of water in it, and you'll stir it till it's not really like water thin, but just enough to stir, thick enough to stir. And then you'll add that into your chili mixture while it's hot and bubbly, and it's going to thicken up like that. In 30 seconds, it'll thicken up. And then if that's not enough, then you can, you know, do a little bit more. But usually about 2 tablespoons of that cornstarch, you know, and make it into a slurry is usually enough. And just cook it about 5-10 minutes after that, and you're ready to go. So I wanted to show you up close what this looks like. You can see it's a yummy, yummy chili. And I'm going to be transferring it, Lord help me, into this bowl. I don't know if I can do it. Let me see if I can get a scoop. That might be the best thing. Because that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of something right there. See if I can just do this, and then when I get most of it in, I can pour the rest of it. But we love chili, and I have some, we usually when we have chili, we like to do sour cream cheese, corn chips, you know, that type of thing, and I have that. Or sometimes I'll do that, and if we have leftover, any of this left over, I can freeze it. It freezes well, or I can grill some hot dogs on the grill, and we can have hot dogs and chili a few days later. But this does freeze good, guys, so if you make it, and you're like, man, we can't eat all that, that's huge. Once again, freezing has been my best friend lately, because we don't eat as much unless we're feeding a huge crowd. You know, it's just me and my son and my husband now, so we don't eat as much. When my daughter lived here, it seems like she invited everybody in the neighborhood to come over and eat, and that's fine. I don't care to cook for anybody that's hungry. I love to cook, and that's fine. But like I said, we just don't feed that as many people anymore, so I will cook this. And then what's left, I can freeze it in the freezer if I want to, or I can save it up to a week in the refrigerator, and I can reheat it, and we can have some hot dogs with it, okay? Or you could do loaded tater tots, like you could bake some tater tots and put chili cheese on top of that. That would be good. So many different things you can do with homemade chili. Listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Meals with Marsha, and also in the description is going to be the recipe of everything you're going to need and the directions on how to make this. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.